As we reach out to our customers in a variety of ways, I think it is really important for our customers to be able to connect with American Airlines and for our employees to be able to connect with our customers. As an example, on AA.com, when we do training modules or show different pictorial views, we show a very diverse group of customers. We show people of different backgrounds as well as male and female, of different ethnic origins, for the customers to be able to identify with the company through that channel.
51% of the management jobs in the U.S. are held by women. So, I mean, that's a big deal for us in terms of who we market to on the business side. And then when you think about leisure, it's probably more than 50% of the tickets are sort of driven by the female in the household. So, frankly, if anything, what we should do is we should create this to be the majority of our marketing efforts.
No other airline has dedicated resource to women's sales and marketing. They probably, like us, look toward the women's market in their various campaigns, but there's not one person focusing that effort, which is what my role is, which is very exciting that American has recognized the importance of the women's market to dedicate resource to be kind of the focal point for all of our various departments.
As a father, I've got 4 children, all of whom are female. And I want them to have that same kind of opportunity that I've got, and we should have absolutely no barriers here. We have to create an environment in which they feel like they can not only get a job here, but they can keep the job and get promoted. And that's the kind of thing we have to do to make sure that we've got the kind of company that would want to be employed here and stay here and fulfill their careers.
Being out here in the operation, I think one of the things that still needs to be improved is when we have off-schedule operation, the single mothers with their children, that still is an issue. I don't have any children, so I don't really personally have had to deal with it, but I've seen a lot of people that are single women that have a hard time getting their kids picked up at the daycare. So
we also need to go out and look for folks who have unique technical backgrounds, who might be able to come into the company in areas that were traditionally male-dominated and have an opportunity to have some impact. I'm familiar I won't put anybody on the spot, but I'm familiar with a couple of people who work in our maintenance organization and are in highly male-oriented environments who have done extraordinarily well in some technical jobs. And I really think the reason for that is they have a different perspective, they have different life experiences, and they challenge kind of the status quo thinking. They don't let the people who've been doing it for a long time in the same old way just keep doing it that way. They get in there and shake it up a little bit, and really that's what it's all about.
Historically, there haven't been a lot of females in the IT industry, especially in the technical role, and typically if I walk in, the individuals that may not know me at the meeting typically think I might be a project manager or a project leader and don't take my technical expertise into account just because they don't probably see me in that vein at all.
The majority of my team consists of men, and some of the challenges that I face are giving them instruction about fixing the machinery or reporting problems. And by me being a woman, a lot of times I think they feel as though, well, what does she know about machinery?
There are certain cultures that do have, what their beliefs are and what they're comfortable doing. In some cases, the man won't look at the woman. Some people might look at it as insulting because they won't make eye contact with you, but that is their cultural belief, and we do need to be respectful of that. So it's just, I guess, a matter of not taking it personally that he's not appreciating what I'm doing, but that I don't want to, overstep boundaries or interfere. So it's about being flexible and understanding and being respectful of other cultures, and I think it's important for everyone to realize that, especially with such a global airline.
I think you're always aware that being female could be an obstacle, but if you don't treat it as an obstacle, it doesn't become an obstacle.
More and more you are seeing women in more non-traditional roles. So for example, in pilots, in our corporate officers, and quite frankly in engineers that we have in our Tulsa maintenance base, you are seeing women emerge in a lot of these roles, and that is something that perhaps 20 years ago was just unheard of.
When people look around the company and they look up and across and even down, They need to see people that look like them. They need to see people that understand them, people that have empathy for the environment that they're in and the things that they're going through, and can say things to them in the hallway that allow them to connect and relate to one another.
I would encourage all employees, not just women, but all employees to speak up. If they see an opportunity, if they see a need that we're not embracing, if they have an idea on how to make their department better, whether it's for themselves or for the women or men, speak up, get in the game, join the Women in Aviation group, but just be part of the solution rather than part of the problem, to use a quote. But just get in the game and craft the solution.
I want to be here, I want my company to succeed, and I want my workforce to be just as successful. So whatever I need to do to make that happen is what I'd like to do.
I think the group can be a great resource to help us expand our reach. There's so many women's organizations out there that have conferences and events that we can have a presence at, but it's just going to take some resource. So anyone who wants to volunteer to help us out with that will be absolutely appreciated and welcomed.
As we know, the community service piece and our visibility in the community, whether it's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or whether it's in Chicago or wherever it might be, having a presence, an American Airlines presence, but also having a very heartfelt women's presence, I think brings an added benefit to the company. And I also think it brings an added benefit to the women within the company. What I see for the future for women in aviation, but also the benefit for American Airlines, is that we will gather the resources, the tremendous resources we have of women in this company, and we will come up with ideas that we probably haven't even thought of yet, because we're coming together in a forum that will give us focus and will give us energy and will give us creative ideas and thoughts about women who travel and thoughts about managing families and how they travel and their travel experience as well. There's lots of opportunities in my mind as to how we can move it going forward, and I think we will as we gather momentum, not only for building women in aviation here in the headquarters area. Obviously we have the group in Tulsa now and a group that's starting in AFW, and we'd like to see that spread across the country.